Welcome aboard, everybody. It's Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. In the time that it takes for me to broadcast this radio program today, Wednesday, May 21st, 2014, approximately 170 people will die because of MD-directed medical therapeutics. Approximately 170 people will die because of MD-directed medical therapeutics, and that does not take into consideration how much harm will be done. It does not take into consideration how much financial suffering will be engendered, and it does not take into consideration how many loved ones will be left behind or be saddled with an unnecessary burden of having to do 24-hour care for their infirm relatives. All of these consequences of conventional medicine, they don't go into the statistic books, just like, we don't know how many automobile accidents are caused by people gorked out of their brains on prescription meds. Ever taken a prescription med? Makes you feel funny, doesn't it? Makes you not think right, makes you not feel right, makes you just kind of feel funny. You're not yourself. And I wonder how many automobile accidents are caused by people being negatively affected by their blood pressure medication, by their heartburn medication, by their whatever. And I'm not just talking about the medications that says don't operate heavy machinery while under the influence of this drug. I'm talking about just the normal things. We live in an upside-down, inside-out, backwards, crazy world, ladies and gentlemen, where disease management has become the new healthy, where symptom suppression with synthetic pharmaceuticals sold to you at a profit is the new normal for health and is the king of the hill, the champion of the healthcare cause, the sine qua non, the alpha and the omega of all things having to do with medicine. The people that are completely unprepared, uneducated, with the wrong tools to help us recover from a chronic health disease are the people that we have put up on the health pedestal for the last 100 years. The biggest mistake that we make when it comes to our health is believing that somebody with an MD after their name knows what's best for us. They do not. They know what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is a tiny aspect of medical science, but the drug companies have convinced you it's everything. And everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack with substandard training. Don't go to see the naturopath. What is a naturopath anyway, for goodness sake? We don't need hiking trails. We need medicine. Yeah, I've heard it before. This is the state that we are in, and it's a very, it's a beast with many heads. I'm going to be talking about one of those heads tonight, autoimmunity, the myth of autoimmunity. If you've been told you have an autoimmune disease, you don't. You've been a victim of fuzzy MD logic. You have been victimized by a reductionistic reality, by consensus, brought to the foreground by medical professionals who are intellectually cowards. Intellectual cowards. There, I said it out loud. I'm slapping their cheek. I'm hitting their cheek with a glove. I'm challenging them to a duel because I'm sick and tired of it. You should be too. The problem here is that we don't know there's a different way. We don't know there's an alternative. We don't know there's a science-based, clinically verified, physician-directed, physician-delivered, physician-regulated alternative to contemporary MD reductionistic allopathic thought and treatment. It does exist. It's here in living color right now. And tonight, for Dr. Glidden insiders and their guests, we're having an exclusive worldwide webinar that pulls back the curtain on the concept of autoimmune disease and gives you a more robust, sophisticated, real perspective of what's really going on in the human body. which makes the MD diagnosis and the MD understanding of your chronic disease seem extremely juvenile and childish. Because in point of fact, it is. In point of fact, it is. Now, normally, well, not normally, once a month we have free worldwide webinars. Tonight is not free. Tonight you must be a paid subscriber or a guest of a paid subscriber to gain access to this information. So if you are not yet a Dr. Glidden insider, today is the perfect day to become one. Just visit the website drglidden.com, drglidden.com. Excuse me. Click on the Become an Insider button. And for $20 a month, you will have access to over 110 hours of archived health webinars and 3 hours of live webinars a week. 3 hours of live webinars a week, all for $20 a month. Cancel at any time. If you like the stuff that you have exposure to, then get a year subscription and we'll give you 2 months free. I mean, that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. For goodness sake. Well, you know, there's 30 days in a month, $20 a day. That's less than $1 a day. What's that, like 70 cents a day? I can find 70 cents a day. Pop down $20. Visit the webinar tonight. It starts at 8 o'clock Central. It starts at 8 o'clock Central. You can become a subscriber at 7:59 Central Time and still have access to this webinar. 8 o'clock Central Time tonight to 9 o'clock Central Time tonight. Live, worldwide live webinar where I bust wide open the mythology surrounding the concept of autoimmune disease. And not only that, I'll tell you what you can do, action steps that you can take on your behalf right now in order to support and promote the structure and function of your body, in order to support your body in its quest to recover its health, in its quest to bounce back from a state of dis-ease into a state of ease. From a state of dis-ease into a state of ease. There's so much we need to understand. There's so much misinformation that we have been fed by the pharmaceutical industry for the last 100 years. The tumor is not the disease. It's the result of the disease. The arthritic knee is not the disease. It's the result of the disease. So when you cut the tumor out, or you cut the knee out and put a titanium knee in its place, have you fixed, have you even interfaced at all with the cause of the disease? No. All you have done is manage the results of the disease. And it's only a matter of time until the disease process, which is still at play, you haven't addressed it at all, until it manifests again somewhere else. This is why most of the time, if not all of the time, when cancerous tumors are removed, they always come back. And when they come back worse. This is why when you have your right knee, you get a fake right knee, it's only a matter of time until you need a fake left knee. And then it's only a matter of time until you need a fake hip, then a fake shoulder. Because the process which made the joint go south in the first place is still at play in your body. The damaged joint is the result of the disease. It's not the disease, but the MD does not understand this basic foundation health concept. They don't understand it. They don't get it. They're not trained in it. If people, if I could wave a magic wand and have one wish, my wish would be that everybody would wake up tomorrow and they would understand how MDs think. They would understand how MDs are trained. They would understand the philosophy of health, healing, disease, and its treatment that the MDs are trained in. And if you understood the perspective that the MD brings to bear on your body, you would run as fast as you possibly could in the other direction from anybody with a white coat. Unless you were bleeding to death or you had some type of trauma, because that's the wheelhouse of the MD. Emergency medicine. But remember, Rome is burning This is what happens when an industry is monopolized. It's only a matter of time until it self-destructs. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. According to Harvard University, over 50% of emergency room medical doctors are addicted to street drugs, alcohol, or prescription meds. So even in the domain inside of which they excel, emergency medicine and trauma care, surgery when it's absolutely necessary, over half of the time they're gorked out of their minds on drugs. And it should be a law that every time an emergency room medical person, I don't care if it's a nurse, I don't care if it's an orderly, I don't care if it's a secretary, I don't care, the person behind the counter or the doctor or the resident or the intern. It should be a law that every time they punch their time clock, they pee in a cup. And they have their urine checked for nefarious substances. And if those are found, they don't get to go to work. They get fined. But that's never going to happen because, they hold sway. Why do they hold sway? Because we let them hold sway. The pharmaceutical industry ushered them into the catbird seat in the 1920s after the Flexner Report, and we've never looked back. We've all drunk deep from the Kool-Aid that the MD knows what's best for us, but ladies and gentlemen, they do not. Their therapeutics are the leading cause of death and the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. While we have given ourselves over to their intelligence, chronic disease is getting worse. Life expectancy is getting shorter. Everybody is sick. And if you stick around with us, you will find out why. And if you want to get to the skinny, get to the roots, get to the real deal about autoimmunity, become an insider and show up tonight. It's going to be a blast. Hundreds of people are expected. A worldwide phenomenon for insiders and their guests only. Yours truly pulls back the curtain on autoimmunity. Hope to see you there. Stick around. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. The buck stops here, ladies and gentlemen. I am the red pill. Take a dose of me. Pop out of the matrix. Pull back the curtain on what's really going on with the dissemination of medicine here. And let me and my contemporaries, my associates, my Longevity Nation members, usher you into the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical nutrition. You have no idea of the ability of your body to fix itself. You have been deceived as to the ability of your body to fix itself. For goodness sake, your body grew itself all by itself from a single-celled organism into you. You think if it knew how to do that, it knows how to fix itself? Wow. Inquiring minds say yes, 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 indeed, yes. This is our message. The body knows how to fix itself. The body wants to fix itself, and it's the holistic physician's job to bring to the table therapeutics which have been science-based and clinically verified in order to support and promote your body's ability to do this. Now, chiropractors do this one way, homeopaths do it one way, acupuncturists do it one way. Ayurvedic practitioners, herbalists do it their own ways. The way that I espouse here on the radio is Foundation Medical Nutrition for the Masses. Foundation Medical Nutrition for the Masses. This is boilerplate Foundation Medical Nutrition for everybody. I mean, look, just by cleaning up the water supply, and generating safe septic systems for, large cities and communities and regulating the food production, we were able to double human life expectancy in about 80 years. We doubled it. And it wasn't through medication and antibiotics. It was through cleaning up the water and cleaning up the poop. Basically, and making sure that people had food on a regular basis. Government steps in and helps farmers, right? It doubled our life expectancy, for goodness sake. So simple things you can do will have a dramatic impact on your body's ability to optimize its structure and function. Well, Foundation Medical Nutrition is the next step. Foundation Medical Nutrition is the next step. In addition to drinking purified water, in addition to making sure your poop and your pee go to the appropriate place and are cleaned up appropriately, in addition to making sure you're eating enough calories every day to keep your body running, you need to provide your body with the raw materials that it needs in order to function properly, 90 essential nutrients. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids, a grand total of 90. Calcium, selenium, zinc, sulfur, vitamin A, vitamin B, omega-3 fatty acids, leucine, alanine, amino acids, etc., etc. You need 90 of these every day. And good luck trying to get these 90 essential nutrients from food. You can't do it. Especially the minerals. Plants can't make minerals. Animals can't make minerals. The only person that makes a mineral is God. Minerals are found in the soil, or not. They're not evenly spread out in the soil, so unless there's calcium in the grass, in the soil that the grass is growing in, that the cow eats, there's no calcium in the cow's body. Where do you think the cow gets calcium from? Thin air? No. Comes from the soil. Everybody is minerally deficient because the minerals are not evenly spread out in the soil. And every single solitary metabolic thing that happens in your body needs a mineral. So if you are minerally deficient, it's only a matter of time until something in your body breaks. If you're vitamin deficient, it's only a matter of time until something in your body breaks. If you're amino acid deficient, it's only a matter of time until something breaks, etc. So our Foundation Medical Nutrition for the Masses strategy is brilliant. It's pure genius. And it's the dream child of Dr. Joel Wallach, my colleague, mentor, and friend, the unrivaled superstar of holistic medical nutrition. Healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Our recommendation, get a Healthy Start Pack, appropriate for your health condition. We have healthy blood sugar packs, healthy digestion packs, healthy bone and joint packs, anti-aging healthy packs, weight loss healthy packs. We've got a healthy pack that's just for you. And when you start taking it, it's going to provide your body with all of the nutrients that it needs, and it'll be the first time your body has been properly nutrified, and that is a game changer. You don't know what you're missing. Check it out. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Go to drglidden.com. Click on the links for more details. Tim in Utah is up when we come back. Wednesday, May 21st, 2014. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your host. This is Fire Your MD Now, and I'm as serious as a heart attack when I say it. Tim from Utah is up. The phones are all lit up like a Christmas tree. Hey, Tim, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden, for taking my call. I really appreciate it. So I have a few questions. If you can only answer one, I totally understand. But it's about, one of them's about the side effects of ADD medication. So I took that for about 7 years as a child.
Yeah.
That my parents put me on.
Yeah.
And so some of those side effects include like uncontrollable tics and anxiety, depression, a host of other things. I'm wondering if there's anything that can help reverse or help that in any way.
Well, the first thing, of course, you have to have had stopped the med, right? So have you done that?
Yes.
Or how long ago?
It's been almost 12 years now.
Okay, well, there's an interesting thing here that happens and that nobody talks about except me. I'm going to ring my own bell here. I've never heard anybody else talk about this like this, but this is the way that it is. At least this is part of the way that it is. One of the reasons that drugs create side effects is because, the human body is a complex system of interrelated parts with billions of metabolic processes happening all of the time. Processes which are regulated by the body's innate God-given intelligence. There is intelligence to every single solitary biochemical reaction that happens inside the body. Now, when into such a complex system you throw a man-made synthetic drug, you're going to upset the apple cart. You're going to push a biochemical pathway this way, upregulate another biochemical pathway, downregulate another biochemical pathway. You're going to have unintended consequences because you're throwing into this complicated soup a different spice, and it's going to change a lot of different things, number one. Now, that's the concept of side effects that everybody is aware of, but here's another concept of side effects that nobody talks about except me. When you take a drug into the human body, it exerts a physiological reaction, and the physiological reaction happens through the virtue of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids. Your body is made out of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids. All of the biochemical things that happen in the body include vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids, right? That's how the body works. So, when you take a drug into the system, and it exerts a biochemical influence on your system, it burns through your nutrient reserves. Because as the drug works, how does the drug work? Well, it works by activating your biochemistry and pushing the biochemistry this way, pushing it that way. It uses up your biochemistry. It's no different than stepping hard on the gas in the automobile. You burn up the gas. You burn through the fuel. Now all of a sudden the car's out of gas and you're stuck. Well, another of the reasons for the side effects that drugs engender in the human body is that they burn through your nutrients, and everybody's nutritionally deficient to begin with. From our point of view, people that have concentration problems, they have nutritional deficiencies, and their central nervous system is weak. Their central nervous system is undernutrified. Their central nervous system needs help. Their immune systems are often upregulated and overactive because of inappropriate food. It's not, you don't have attention problems because you have a Ritalin deficiency, right? But this is what the MDs think. So, an insidious part of continuous, conspicuous consumption of a prescription medication is that it accelerates your nutrient deficiencies, and the nutrient deficiencies were what caused the disease in the first place. So everything is going to get worse. Now, once we stop the drug, there are very few prescription medications which generate negative side effects that are so bad that tissues become destroyed and that you just can't recover. Thank God, there are very few drugs that actually do that. So most of the time, when people, years ago were taking prescription medications for this, that, or the other thing, and then they stopped, we don't really have to worry about the negative effects engendered by the drugs when we were taking them years ago. What we need to worry about and be concerned with is right now the nutritional status of the body and what we can do in order to support and promote the body's march back into the road, the land of health. And given the fact that you started this when you were a young man, or even as a boy, that speaks to me of chronic lifelong nutritional deficiencies that have been kind of the monkey on your back. And so the chronic nutrient deficiencies for you, I would assume, would be the greater problem here. Yeah, but, thank God these things are relatively easy to address. So in your adult life right now, what are the things that are bothering you physically, mentally, or emotionally on a chronic basis?
Things that seem to come up as a result of the medication still: uncontrollable tics, anxiety, depression, big emotional swings. A lot of bad things like that.
Okay, great. So uncontrollable tics. This is most, and is it a facial? Where do you get the tick?
Usually facial, yeah.
Okay, so that's a calcium deficiency and a magnesium deficiency. And the reason that happens is because the med burned through your calcium and magnesium stores. Now, you would think, well, I drink milk. Well, that's great. But there's more calcium per ounce in maple syrup than there is in milk. That's an interesting statistic. The minerals are extremely necessary for human health, and it's impossible to get all of the body's mineral needs just from eating or drinking. You can't do it because the minerals are not evenly spread out in the soil, and it's just it's a guessing game. It's a game of chance as to whether on Monday you're going to have enough calcium, and on Tuesday you're probably not going to. And you go up and down and all around. And then if you exercise or get on a treadmill or do a sweat lodge or go to a sauna, you sweat out all of your minerals, and then you're, back to where you started or less than where you started. So facial tics anywhere in the body, tics, twitches, chronic muscle cramps, chronic muscle tension anywhere in the body are calcium and magnesium deficiencies, period. Interesting, because anxiety, whether it's, full-blown in-your-face anxiety like, I'm frozen in fear, or it's just low-grade kind of, feeling uneasy, kind of, sort of, these are calcium and magnesium deficiencies also. Mood disorders are related to blood sugar issues and cholesterol levels and hormone levels. And, all of these things are intermixed and they interplay and they interrelate. And rather than spending thousands of dollars on some type of diagnostic discovery to try to micromanage the biochemistry of your body and find out exactly where your weak point is, right? And then develop a therapeutic to fix it, rather than do all that, which, by the way, I used to do. I used to do that. I don't anymore. Because the foundation principle here is your body knows what's best. Your body knows how to fix itself. Your body knows how to have healthy blood sugar. Your body knows how to have healthy hormones. Your body knows how to have healthy muscles, ligaments, tendons, and joints. It knows how to do that. But in order to do that, your body needs raw materials. If it doesn't have the raw materials, it ain't going to be able to optimize its function. It just can't happen, because your body can't make things out of nothing. Your body can't do that. So the basic strategy here would be for 90 days to pour into your body 200% of the nutrients that it needs, with a little bit extra emphasis here on blood sugar support and calcium, right? Stop eating food that's hurting the body and sucking these nutrients out of the body or disallowing their entry into the body, and see what happens. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that the first thing that's going to disappear is the facial tics. What about falling asleep at night? Is that easy or difficult, or what's that like for you?
On medication, it was difficult. Off medication, it's not really a problem.
Okay, great. And
but
you have
I still feel like... Oh, sorry. Go. I was just saying I still feel like I have the symptoms of ADD, though, or ADHD.
Yeah, I can understand that, right? So, now, what's your current body weight?
I think like 185.
Okay, and how tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, so that's a good weight for you. All right, great. So my recommendation for you for 90 days would be, I'd like you to every month, please, I'd like you to do 2 bottles of Beyond, or 2 canisters of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. 2 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, 2 canisters of that. I'd like you to do 3 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX, OST like Thomas, EO, 3 Beyond Osteo FX a month. 2 bottles of EFA Plus, that's like Edward Francis Albert Plus, 2 bottles of EFA Plus, and 2 bottles of Sweet-Ease, just how it spells, just how it sounds, Sweet-EZE. So that's 2 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 That's the newest version of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. 3 bottles of Beyond OsteoFX liquid calcium. Make sure it's the liquid, not the powdered. 2 bottles of EFA Plus and 2 bottles of Sweet Ease. Plus, eliminate the 10 bad foods. You can get that list for free on my website. Just go to drglidden.com, scroll down the front page till you see it, and click on it. And the only other thing I would advise you to do is start to eat salt. Start to salt your food so that it tastes good. And don't be afraid of food that's high in cholesterol, because your central nervous system needs cholesterol to function properly. 75% of your brain and nerves are made from cholesterol. 100% of your hormones are made from cholesterol. So if we're trying to optimize central nervous and hormone function, which in your case we are, then it would be prudent for you to be on a high cholesterol diet. And I mean like 6, 7, 8 eggs a day, man. Chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, butter by the stick. Just don't be afraid of cholesterol. Go crazy for cholesterol. It's an experiment, right? It's an in-house experiment for 90 days. And remember, this is a holistic methodology here. So while you are waiting for the tics and the anxiety and whatever else you believe is an ADD thing to resolve, you also want to pay attention to, your mood, your appetite, your energy, your stamina, and things like this. 90-day experiment. That's how I would run with it. I think you're going to love how you feel, man. And I think you also had a question number 2.
Yeah, well, along with the 10 bad foods, good foods, I had already looked that up, and I know that it says to not have anything that's no oil in a bottle.
Yeah.
And one thing I was reading about was oil pulling for teeth and how it extracts the bad stuff in your teeth. And I'm wondering, if I don't swallow the coconut oil that's used for that, I just swish it around in my mouth for 20 minutes and spit it out. Should I not be doing that either?
I'm good with that. That's an Ayurvedic technique, and those people had it dialed in. As long as you don't swallow it, Tim, I'm good. Now get with the person that told you about this show and figure out how to get these supplements. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Pennsylvania. What do you think? I think that's a good idea. Let's talk to Tom in Pennsylvania. Hey, Tom, thanks for the call. You are live.
How you doing, Doctor?
I'm great, but I'll get better. Thanks for the call, man. What's up?
Okay, my problem is high blood pressure readings. Whether it's true hypertension, I don't know, and I'm going to give you the background and all the details.
Shoot.
I'm a 64-year-old male, 6 foot, 200 pounds. I have been disabled with anxiety disease since '94.
Okay.
I have a hard time with stress. So when I take my blood pressure sitting down, the higher readings can go up to 187 over 111.
Yep.
When I take the readings laying down, it goes down to somewhere close to normal. One maybe 150 or 140 over 80, or even sometimes it goes lower than that. It goes 110, 165.
Over what?
Pardon? 110 over 160 or 110 over 65.
Okay, great. Well, from my point of view, which is the correct point of view, because the pharmaceutical industry has moved the goalposts on the bottom line for high blood pressure the same way they moved the goalposts for total cholesterol, right? Years ago, it was 220 was the upper limit of cholesterol. Then they moved it to 205, and then they moved it to 200, and then they moved it to 199. And each time they moved it, they made millions of dollars in statin drug sales. They did the same thing with high blood pressure. When I was in medical school, you couldn't diagnose or reasonably put somebody on high blood pressure medication unless they had 3 consecutive readings where each number was elevated. Both numbers had to be elevated above 140 over 90. And not only did both numbers have to be elevated, but they had to be elevated 3 times in a row in order for somebody to be technically given, a diagnosis of high blood pressure, which would stand up in court. Now, the MDs have moved the goalposts, and so now if just one of the numbers is elevated above what they consider normal one time, they'll put you on high blood pressure meds because they call it pre-hypertension. And the rationale is that, number one, they have no idea what causes it. Number two, they have no concern to find out what causes it. Number three, as far as they're concerned, it's only going to get worse. Number four, it's called the silent killer for a reason. So you might as well go on blood pressure medication because it's probably going to save your life. Yada, 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 yada. So that's why they do it. That's how they justify it. You can justify whatever you want if you're an MD. So you have borderline hypertension right now. You don't have hypertension. You have borderline hypertension. Now, it's interesting.
Well, is that laying down is so much different than sitting up.
I get it. You have borderline hypertension. If you had hypertension, the numbers would be high no matter what you did. Okay? All right? So now it's interesting here, Tom, because one of the sayings in diagnostic science is when you're trying to figure something out diagnostically, when you hear hoofbeats, you think about horses before you think about camels, right? So, which means you think about the most common things that cause things before you start thinking about weird things that cause things. The most common cause of high blood pressure is not enough calcium and not enough magnesium, period. The most common cause of anxiety, not enough calcium and not enough magnesium, period. So, my armchair guess would be, as an in-house experiment, you need to give your body the 90 essential nutrients for 90 days with extra calcium. And you need to stop eating food that interferes with the body's absorption of calcium into the body and look to see how you feel. I think you're going to love how you feel. You're a good, how much do you weigh? You said you're 200 pounds?
6 foot, 200 pounds.
Yeah, so my recommendation for 3 months as an experiment, and honestly, I don't think it's going to take 12 weeks for you to feel a noticeable difference. It's the same for the last caller. So the easiest way to get this would be 2 Healthy Start Pack original formula, 2 original formula Healthy Start Packs, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX Plus, 2 original formula Healthy Start Packs, and 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid calcium a month for 3 months, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. So, get with the person that told you about this radio show. They'll tell you how to get the stuff. They'll tell you how to take it. And give me a call back in about 3 weeks with a report. Take your blood pressure twice a day. Keep your fingers crossed, and I'll look forward to hearing from you in the future. I appreciate the call, Tom. We're out of time. Hour 2 coming up, folks. Don't even think about touching that dial. Everything you always wanted to know about autoimmune disease, but couldn't get a straight answer to tonight on my exclusive worldwide webinar for Dr. Glidden Insiders and their guests exclusively. Check out the details, please, at drglidden.com. $20 will get you a subscription, a month-long subscription to my Insider. I got subscription stuff, over 100 hours of archived health webinars, plus 3 hours, 12 hours a month of live webinars for a measly $20 a month. Check it out tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time. Don't miss it. Don't be late. If you thought you knew what an autoimmune disease is, you don't. You've had the wool pulled over your eyes by Big Pharma. I'm going to help set the record straight. I've been looking forward to this webinar for a long, long time. This is a topic that really underlines the infantile, juvenile, old-fashioned, outdated, intellectually cowardly point of view that the MDs are trained in when it comes to chronic disease. It's tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time. For Dr. Glidden Insiders and their guests exclusively, check out the details at drglidden.com. New York is up next with Benjamin, calling about high blood pressure. Hey, Benjamin, thanks for the call. You are live.
Oh, yeah, I'm calling for my mother. She's about 80 years old, 84 years old. And hold on, I'm looking at my notes. She's been taking high blood pressure medication for 9 years. She's about 120 pounds, 4 feet 10 inches, and she's been seeing a doctor, MD, for 10 years.
Yeah.
So 1.5 months, her leg got swollen a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Her foot got swollen.
Yeah.
So now what I had to do, I had to go buy her a cane to walk with. And 2 days ago, she collapsed in the kitchen while she was in the kitchen. I just had her collapse. Yeah, I was in the living room there, and I rushed to her aid to lift her up, because she couldn't get up. So we took her to the hospital, and I started screaming her name because her eyes kept changing, changing. So I kept screaming her name, then she came back to life because she was unconscious for a while, So we took her to our MD. Our MD gave her some antibiotics, and they gave her some drips, antibiotics injection, and gave her some drips. This happened around 5 o'clock to 5:30 in the morning yesterday. And today again, the same thing happened between 3 and 3:30 again this morning. She said she was going to the bathroom. Then I followed her to the bathroom, monitored her movement, and she looked like she wanted to pass out again. She passed out again. Then I came to her aid again, screamed the same thing I did. I screamed her name, and she came back to consciousness. And whenever she go through all this process, she urinates and pass some bowels, and pass some feces, while she's doing this. And she started resting calmly yesterday, and the same thing, resting calmly after she went through this process. Then I called our MD this morning and explained everything to him. Said it could be a seizure, like a seizure, like someone going to unconscious for a while.
Yeah, look, it could be a lot of things, but let me cut right to the chase here, okay? The most common thing that causes this is low blood pressure. Low blood pressure, the most common cause of low blood pressure is a high blood pressure medication that's overprescribed. So,
okay, that's okay.
Did they change her blood pressure medication lately or increase it?
No, they didn't. One went for her blood pressure test. They said it's 195. So they said it's 195. So but she wasn't taking her blood. She stayed away from her blood pressure medication for a while. Then after she had this seizure, what happened 2 days ago? Her foot swollen. Then I had to take her to the foot doctor.
Yeah, I get it. So I can tell you what's causing that too, presumptively. So with her blood pressure medication, have they changed it lately?
No, they've not changed it.
Has she changed it? Has she, mixed it up and she's taking more than she used to or anything?
No, she's taking like one pill every day, one pill. She takes one pill.
All right, so in the interest of time here, how much does she weigh?
120 pounds, 110, between 110 and 115.
Okay, so, high blood pressure from our point of view is caused by nutrient deficiencies. It can also be caused by a kidney illness. But if there's a kidney illness, that's also caused by nutrient deficiencies. So no matter which way you shake it, somebody that's suffering with high blood pressure would benefit from a medical nutrition program that supports and promotes healthy circulation. And I've got exactly what she needs. Swelling in the legs is caused by not enough protein in the blood. Not enough protein in the blood is caused by faulty digestion. Faulty digestion is a long-term effect of eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So there are 10 foods that she needs to stop eating. 10 foods she needs to stop eating. That's on my website. It's free. It's called the Good Food, Bad Food List. You can download it for free on my website. You need to get that list. Have her eliminate the 10 bad foods. I want you to eliminate the 10 bad foods as well. She needs to start salting her food so that it tastes good. Salt is unrelated to high blood pressure. The MDs are wrong. Start salting her food so that it tastes good. And she needs to give her body the nutritional support that it needs in order to have healthy blood pressure. So at 110 pounds, here's what I would recommend she do every month for 3 months in a row. Are you ready to write this down?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 1 bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0.
Okay.
1 Beyond Tangy 2.0. 2 bottles of Beyond Osteo, O-S-T like Thomas, E-O-F-X. 2 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX. 1 bottle of EFA Plus, like Edward Francis Albert, EFA Plus. 1 bottle of EFA Plus. 2 bottles of selenium, that's S like Sam, E, L like Larry, E, N like Nancy, I, U, M. 3 bottles of selenium.
Okay.
And 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes a month. 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes.
Okay.
3 bottles of selenium. 1 bottle of EFA plus 2 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX, 3 bottles of Beyond, 2 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX Plus, and 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Yeah?
Excuse me, doctor. You said 1 bottle of Beyond Tangerine 2.0?
No.
2 bottles of Beyond.
That's correct. One bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0.
Okay.
2 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's a good place for her to start. She wants to be measuring her blood pressure every day and look to see how she responds. There's a lot of things that can make somebody pass out like this. I doubt very much that it was a stroke, although, that's impossible for me to say over the phone. I think it's a blood pressure issue, but the only way that you're going to be able to determine that is if you measure her blood pressure. Does she have a cuff that she can measure her blood pressure at home with?
Yes. Well, I bought a cuff to check up of it. But
all right,
she went to see the MD yesterday. And they checked the blood pressure, and it was doing okay after she takes her medication.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to know because, when she takes the blood pressure medication, the blood pressure is often like a roller coaster, depending on how much of the medication is in your bloodstream at any given moment in time. So she doesn't have high blood pressure because she has a blood pressure medication deficiency. She doesn't have high blood pressure because she has a voodoo curse. She has high blood pressure because her body is undernutrified. Her body has run out of the stuff it needs to maintain normal blood pressure. So we got to stop eating food that's gumming up the works. We got to give her proper medical nutrition, keep our fingers crossed, and see what happens over the course of the next 3 months. The selenium will help her. The EFAs will help her. The whole program, quite frankly, will help her. And give us a call back in a couple of weeks with a report. Okay, Benjamin?
Yeah. Did you say 2 bottles of selenium and 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzyme? And 1 bottle of EFA FX Plus?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right, Benjamin, you're the greatest. Thanks for the call, man, and best of luck. Montana is up next, one of my favorite states in the union. Let's go and talk to Josh. Hey, Josh, you lucky dog living up there in Montana. How was your winter, by the way?
Oh, it was cold up here. And it was 30 below.
Woo!
It was cold. Yeah, we had to get dressed up pretty good.
What's the closest city that you live to near?
Great Falls, Montana.
Oh, yeah, Great Falls. I've been there a number of times, yeah. So, hey, man.
Come up to our place.
Yeah, well, we're considering a road trip. We might do a road trip between now and the end of the year, and if I do, Montana's on the list. How far away from the border of Canada are you?
Oh, we're about 60 miles.
60 miles. And what's the next closest town across the border in Canada to you?
Lethbridge.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. All right, Joshua. Hey, man, thanks for the phone call. Enough geography. How can I help?
I got cystic fibrosis. I'm 23 years old. I weigh 155 pounds. I'm 5'7" in height. I go to the hospital around 4 to 5 times a year, and my lungs are pretty good shape, but I have to go to the hospital to get them up again. And I was looking at your site, and I see that you got some cystic fibrosis.
Yeah, we have quite a history with cystic fibrosis. There's quite a story I have to tell you about cystic fibrosis, and we're up against a hard break right now. So I tell you what, man, stick around with me over this commercial break, and when we come back, I'll give you the Reader's Digest condensed version of Dr. Wallach's understanding of the pathogenesis of cystic fibrosis and what you can do to support and promote your body's ability to fight its way back. I'm glad you called. Stick with me, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, today is May 22nd. I am Dr. Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Talking about cystic fibrosis, it's Joshua from Montana who's been dealing with this for a long, long time. All right, Josh. So between 1970 and 1982, Dr. Wallach, who at that time was the world's leading research veterinarian pathologist in the world, was put in charge of a $25 million 12-year study to determine the net negative effects that pollution had on the health of living human beings, right? There was a big environmental disaster in Japan called the Minamata disaster, where lots and lots of mercury was dumped into a river by a chemical plant. The mercury polluted the river, polluted the lagoon that the river, the bay that the river fed into, Minamata Bay. All of the fish became loaded with mercury. All of the villagers ate the fish. All of the villagers got mercury toxicity. Many people died. Many people were disfigured. And 9 months later, all of the kids in Minamata were like Frankenstein. I mean, 5 arms, 2 heads, half a brain. It was a big bad voodoo daddy. And it sent a shockwave through the medical community because they said, son of a gun, if mercury can do this, well, what about, PCBs and hydrochlorofluorocarbons and all this other crap that we're dumping into the environment? So they gave Dr. Wallach the tap to figure out how to save humanity. Who'd they call? Superman? No. Bruce Willis? No. Jason Bourne? No. Dr. Wallach, because Dr. Wallach at that time had more clinical experience with the net negative effects of pollution on the health of living animals than anybody else did. So Wallach embarked upon a 12-year study, and in the course of this 12 years, he would be doing research at different universities and medical facilities around the country. One of his stints during this 12-year period was at the Emory University, Yerkes Primate Research Center in Atlanta, Georgia. When Dr. Wallach was there, he discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. I mean, he proved it. It was a rhesus monkey. This was a breakthrough in cystic fibrosis research because before Wallach came along, it was thought that cystic fibrosis was a humans-only thing and that it couldn't cross species lines. It was a humans-only thing. But Wallach proved it could happen in monkeys, and not only did he prove it, but he could reproduce cystic fibrosis at will in the monkeys simply by withholding the trace mineral selenium from the food given to the mother of the monkey. Cystic fibrosis, Dr. Wallach proved, was not genetic. It was epigenetic, which means that it wasn't a chromosome that caused cystic fibrosis. It was a broken chromosome that caused cystic fibrosis. Well, a better way to put it is when your genetic material starts to do its job, the gene that codes for lung function kicks into gear and starts doing its job. And in order to produce healthy lungs, in this case, there are nutrients and minerals that are necessary for the gene to make a copy of itself so that the body can do what it needs to do. But in the absence of selenium, the gene cannot make a copy of itself. So it's not that there's a bad gene. It's that there's a bad copy of a good gene. And why is there a bad copy of a good gene? Because in order to make a good copy of a good gene, the body needed selenium and it didn't have it. So Wallach proved that cystic fibrosis, number one, could cross species lines, and that number two, it was a nutrient deficiency disease. It was not genetic. Proved it. But this is back in the 70s, and this point of view that was so antithetical, it went against everything that the MDs had hung their hat on. You know, Mendelian genetics, and there's a bad gene at play here, and it's an inheritable disorder, yada, 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 yada. Wallach's research flew in the face of conventional wisdom. And rather than open their minds and look to see what was really going on, Yerkes Primate Research Center fired Dr. Wallach. They fired him because his results, his conclusions were inconsistent with conventional medical wisdom. And this was back in the 70s, you know, which means it's 2014 now. So let's say, 1975. So that's 25 years plus 14 for 39 years now. The world has been blindfolded to Dr. Wallach's research, and tens of thousands of people have been born with cystic fibrosis unnecessarily. Another break, Joshua. Stick around. I'm going to dial this in when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. I'm going off on a little historical ramble down a road not so well traveled about the horrible methodology that the MDs bring to bear on their understanding of research. Research is not controlled by higher minds. Research is controlled by the pharmaceutical industry, and we are suffering because of it. And in no place does this stand out more in boldface than with Dr. Wallach and cystic fibrosis. So Dr. Wallach is considered the father of epigenetics, because epigenetics is this phenomenon that genes, when they try to transcribe themselves and get their jobs done, fail in getting their jobs done, not because there's anything wrong with the gene itself, but because the gene has the body has run out of the nutrients that the gene needs to express itself. It's kind of like your printer running out of blue ink. You have a color printer, it runs out of blue ink. Well, you go to print up a picture, it's not going to be right. Some parts of it are going to be right, but it's not going to be right because you don't have any blue ink. Well, that's what it is with the body, and that's how it is with cystic fibrosis. So, from our point of view, which is the correct point of view, cystic fibrosis is a nutrient deficiency disease, and it's your obstetrician's fault. It's your obstetrician's fault, because if your obstetrician paid attention to the research, like I do, like Dr. Wallach did, like everybody in Longevity Nation does, the obstetrician would have made sure that your mother, Joshua, had enough selenium in her body to give her a selenium supplement every day that she was pregnant, and you wouldn't have been born, you wouldn't have developed cystic fibrosis, because that's what causes it. Now, once somebody has been born with cystic fibrosis, once that switch has been flipped, there are things that you can do to support and promote the structure and function of your body and to recover in remarkable degrees. Now, we've seen children, infants, toddlers, born with cystic fibrosis. They get on board the nutritional support program, and the cystic fibrosis is gone. It's gone. It's not there anymore. The longer that you've had it, the harder it is for your body to get on the other side of it. But you can optimize the body's structure and function to a remarkable degree with the proper nutritional supplementation. Now, I'm going to bring you back live here, Joshua, and see if you have any questions about the stuff I've said so far. You're back live with me, brother. What do you think about all of that stuff?
Oh, I think they're full of whatever, firing Wallach about it. I've listened to him on the internet and everything, and that's why I'm calling you guys. I'm all excited and wanting to get better, and I'm hoping you got something for me.
Well, we do, but you need to keep it in perspective here, right? Okay, the younger that someone is with cystic fibrosis, the more dramatic the positive change is, and the easier it is for them to get back, to get their health back. So, and also remember, Joshua, that your body is a holistic organism. Your body is not a machine made of parts. Your body is a complex system of interrelated parts So once you get on board with, the lung support program, right, the cystic fibrosis support program, you want to look to see what happens to everywhere. Mood, energy, sleep, appetite, sex drive, weight, everything, man. In addition to how you feel, breathing capacity, and what happens to your blood work, what happens to your objective diagnostic stuff. So this is a holistic, fundamental, profound, holistic method. And so don't just be paying attention to the part of your body that's saddled with cystic fibrosis as we move forward here. Pay attention to everything. So what's your current body weight, Joshua?
155 pounds.
Okay, so here's what I would recommend you do for 6 months. I would recommend you do this for 6 months before you judge it up or down. Four bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month. That's going to be 12 a day. And I want you to take those between meals. Between meals. I don't want you to take those with a meal. I want you to take them between meals. If that gives you an upset stomach, then you can have a banana or a piece of fruit to settle your stomach, or some cheese to settle your stomach down, but that's it. Fruit or cheese to settle your stomach down when you swallow the selenium. 4 capsules, 3 times a day of Dr. Wallach's Ultimate Selenium, number 1. Number 2, I'm sorry, I'm having a senior moment. You said your body weight was 150?
155 pounds.
Okay, so I would also do 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack original formula. 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack original formula. And the reason that I prescribe that, or I'm recommending that, is because it really should be called the Healthy Brain, Heart, and Lung Pack. It really should be called the Healthy Brain, Heart, and Lung Pack. It has a lot of essential fatty acids in there, which are extremely important for lung health. So I would have you do 1 of the original formula, Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, 4 of the selenium, 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals, 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, or 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. So to review, 4 selenium, 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack original formula, 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals, and 1 canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, plus, of course, you know what I'm going to say next if you've been listening to me, eliminate the 10 bad foods. You got to stop eating that crap because it's going to gum up the works. And I got to tell you something, man. One of the things I love about medical nutrition, right, is that the proof of the pudding's in the eating. And just by stopping the 10 bad foods, people feel better. I mean, just by doing that, no supplements. You just stop eating food that you thought was good for you, but it really isn't. You stop doing that, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I can see again. So I love this work because it produces results, and that's what we lean on, Joshua. We lean on results. And remember, don't just be paying attention to your lung function, because this is not really a cystic fibrosis thing. This is a Joshua from Montana thing. And, that's how we do it, and that's what I would anticipate you moving
I got another
forward.
question.
Yeah, shoot.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm taking enzymes for my pancreas. Will they affect any of that? Should I keep? I asked if the doctor said I should I take them 7 with meals, 4 with snacks to mind the food.
Yeah, that's a perfectly fine thing to do. As you go down the road here with our diet and with our supplementation, you may have the pleasant experience that your digestive tract kicks into gear and that you don't need the enzymes anymore. And here's a hallmark of not needing the enzymes anymore, okay? When you take a digestive enzyme, too much of a digestive enzyme, you experience burning in the stomach. So down the road, if you start to develop burning in the stomach, a burning sensation in the stomach area, that means you've taken too many digestive enzymes, so you need to cut down. And, just keep cutting down, keep cutting down, keep cutting down until the burning sensation is not there anymore. I'm a big fan of digestive enzymes, but remember, our goal here is to support and promote the structure and function and optimize the body. So in a perfect world, once you're taking the 90 essential nutrients and you've eliminated the crappy food, you shouldn't need digestive enzymes to get through the day. You shouldn't need that. So I'm thinking that downstream here you'll be able to stop that. But one of the other important things here, and I don't often talk about this as much as I should, I think, one of the other things that we recommend people do in order to optimize their body's structure and function is salt your food, man. Start using...
I use a lot of salt.
All right, great, because your digestive tract needs it. So don't be afraid of it. It sounds like you're not afraid of it. Also, don't be afraid of cholesterol. How'd you hear about us, by the way, anyway? How'd you hear about Dr. Wallach?
I went on the internet. I was pissed off about my doctors. They got pissed off at me. I started trying to do stuff on my own, try and see what's good for me, and they got mad I didn't do what they were saying. So went on the internet. I should have done it earlier. And I punched in cure for cystic fibrosis, and Dr. Wallach popped up on YouTube, and ever since that I've been listening to you guys. And I hope it's gonna work. I got my fingers crossed. I mean, there's gotta be some. I mean, I'm desperate for something to help me better than I got right now.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, and this is like
claim that within time everybody's gonna get diabetes with cystic fibrosis. Well, yeah. I'm thinking if I'm gonna take those essential nutrients, that maybe I can prevent diabetes and
all
right. Those other things.
Yeah, you're right, and this is an excellent thing to talk about. I'm going to be talking about this tonight on my worldwide webinar, quite frankly, right? Because the MDs, because of the way that they're trained, their methodology, they are like colorblind art critics, but they don't know that they're colorblind. So all of their determinations are based on an incorrect assumption. And therefore, everything that they bring to the table about their understanding of the genesis of disease is off a little bit. It's off a little bit. Type 2 diabetes happens because your body runs out of the minerals that it needs to metabolize blood sugar. Why does it run out of the minerals that it needs? Because the minerals are not in your food. You've been minerally deficient from the get-go, and so by putting the minerals back in your body with Wallach's stuff, you're going to really go a long way towards optimizing your body's structure and function. And I can't counsel you enough here, Joshua. Please pay attention to everything across the board, right? How your mood, your energy, your sleep, your everything, man. As we go down the track and you're judging the effectiveness of this program, because once we get on board with a good, effective medical nutrition program, you should be brightening up every 3-4 weeks. You should be feeling a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. It's kind of like, watching ice melt in the springtime, right? It's like that. You can give my... Go ahead.
I say one thing that I really called you up. I tested you guys. I was listening to Wallach, and he said if you got heartburn, eat salt. And I was like, all right, we'll see. And I got heartburn. I ate salt. It went away. I got heartburn. Ate salt. It went away. And it's definitely true. My brother the same thing. He said, hey, it worked.
I know. I'm telling you. Really, I say this all the time, and I think I say it so much that people don't believe me anymore, but God is my witness, Joshua. Dr. Wallach has forgotten more about pathology than most doctors know. And I tell you what, man, if Dr. Wallach says jump, my recommendation is you say, how high, Doc? I'm still waiting for him to be wrong about something. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for you. Give my office a call. Give my longevity team a call. They can get you the stuff at the wholesale price. 855 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to a call back with a report. 8 o'clock tonight, worldwide webinar, peeling back the curtain on autoimmune disease. Let's go up to Canada and talk to Linda. Hey, Linda, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
What I'm calling about is it's actually from my uncle who has chronic pancreatitis. He's also a type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
And the pancreatitis really flared up this past weekend after he had a sweet dessert. He was prescribed some pain medication from the doctor, but he's not wanting to take it. So I'd like to know what I could recommend for him, both like right now as well as long term.
Well, okay, and that's it?
Well, he's really suffering. He's had the diagnosis for about 5 years for both the pancreatitis as well as the diabetes. So he's in lots of pain right now, and I would have a second question unrelated to this.
Okay, well, let me answer this one real quick. We only have 4.5 minutes left, so
Okay,
I'll be Johnny on the spot. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So the pancreatitis, of course, is related to the blood sugar issue. The blood sugar issue is related to everything because everything in the body is connected, and not ever does one thing stand alone. Well, if you have a splinter, right, or a bullet in your arm or something from the outside that came in, but for chronic illnesses, everything's connected. Mm-hmm. And so what we do for this is we support and promote the structure and function of his body in its ability to metabolize blood sugar, and also to have a healthy pancreas. And luckily, that's the same thing. So to do that, the recommendation would be 1 healthy blood sugar pack and 2 selenium, 1 healthy blood sugar pack, and 2 ultimate selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's all that he needs, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods.
Okay, 10 bad foods. Alrighty. That's awesome. And the second question, if you have time for that.
Sure.
Okay, so this is with regards to myself, actually, and anal fissures. So I saw the doctor for this, and he did a colonoscopy, and he has wanted to do Botox injections, which I absolutely don't want to go down that route. So I'm already just starting the Healthy Body Weight Loss Pack myself. I'm 135 pounds, 5'4". I want to be 120 because I want to fit my clothes well.
Great.
And so I just want to know what I can add to that.
Glucogel. Glucogel and EFAs at 120 pounds. I would do, let me see, you need 12 Glucogel a day. That's 360 a month. So 1 bottle of Glucogel at the 240 count and 1 bottle of Glucogel at the 120 count. 1 bottle of the 240 Glucogel capsules and 1 bottle of the 120 Glucogel capsules. Do 12 of those a day. That's 4, 4, and 4. 4 Glucogel 3 times a day because your skin needs support, and your skin is made out of the stuff that's in the Glucogel. So by giving your body the stuff that it needs to have healthy skin, I mean, that's not rocket science, right? I mean, you got to wonder why the MD doesn't do that and why they instead want to inject you with a toxin, which is just insane, I mean, on the face of it, right? And we had a really great testimonial on the webinar last night. We had a webinar last night for Dr. Glidden Insiders. There was a nice testimony about anal fissures, no longer present anymore. So, you need to give your body a break. You need to give it the stuff that it needs to bounce back. You need to give your body a fighting chance. Plus, we do that by nutrifying the body with the appropriate healthy pack and, of course, eliminating the 10 bad foods. Now, I don't know if in your town there is a practicing homeopath. You might want to do. All right. So oftentimes, homeopathy for acute pancreatitis is a really good thing to do and produces almost immediate results by way of alleviating pain. So if this were me, I would go to a homeopath for the acute symptoms of the pancreatitis. But keep in mind that the reason that this stuff flares up is because his body's just run out of gas, man. It's run out of the stuff it needs to keep the pancreas healthy, and things are starting to fall apart. So while you are perhaps getting some results with homeopathy in the acute sphere, you have to feed the body the right stuff in the chronic sphere. Keep your fingers crossed and expect a miracle. Thanks for the call, Linda. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock tonight, Central Time, rolling back the curtain on autoimmune disease for insiders and their guests exclusively. Not an insider yet? No worries. You can be one with the click of a mouse. drglidden.com. Check it out. Look forward to seeing you tonight. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Back in the saddle tomorrow. See you then.